Thanks to the support as a channel member, Austin Hartman. Yeah, I know we've had a terrible start to the Premier League season. Yeah, it's because of Europe. I warned you this might happen. It's our first time ever playing in Europe. It's new territory for us all. We're trying to figure out a new tactic. We had to sell our star man in the summer. Second summer in a row we've sold our best player. We will, I promise you. I promise you we will finish in the top half of the table again this year. We just need to put some wins together. And welcome to part 129 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we face Bournemouth and Leicester in the Premier League as we look to start moving back up this Premier League table. As you can see, down in 14th place, we do have 2 games in hand on most of the teams above us. So if we win both of those games in hand, that immediately puts us up to 10th, only 3 points outside of European qualification. So it's not as bad as it looks from this. We've played fewer games than anybody else in the Premier League, which presumably is because of the Conference League, I guess. The Conference League has been going pretty well. We won all 6 of our games, 21 goals for, 1 goal against. It means we get a bye for the first knockout round and straight into the second round. So we're not having to play in that. We go straight into the second knockout round. So we don't know who we're playing next in Europe until it's basically March. And then it's just second round, quarterfinal, semi-final, final. We win the thing. I don't know if this works the same way as the Europa League, where the Europa League gets a bunch of Champions League rejects appear in the knockout rounds. Are we going to get a load of Europa League rejects turn up? Because otherwise, I'm looking at the teams that have won their groups and trying to think, right, who's actually got a chance of knocking us out of this thing? Maybe Sevilla. And that's about it. They're the only team we fear. So if there's not going to be a load of Europa League teams added, I think we're going to win this. If there are going to be loads of Europa League teams coming in who finished in 3rd place, then what's the point of the tournament? Why does it exist? What's the point? Just silly. But it is odd that group winners go straight into the second round, which suggests the first round is going to have a bunch of Europa League rejects in, doesn't it? Absolutely what's going to be happening there, I'm sure. I don't even know how to check. What a silly competition. League form has been rotten, though, while all this has been going on. As you can see, between the 2 most recent Conference League wins, we haven't won a game in the Premier League. This is that run of games that I said we needed to do well in. We lost to Norwich, lost to Brighton, drew with Bristol City. We've now got, in back-to-back games, Bournemouth, Leicester, Everton, Villa. 3 of them at home. I really think we need a minimum of 10 points from our next 4 games, or else we are in trouble. We're only 2 points outside of the relegation zone. Imagine getting relegated after, what has it been, 5 years in the Premier League now? Does not bear thinking about. So for this game, we are going back to something a little bit more attacking. We're going to the 4-2-3-1. The 4-3-3, we've been using it for a while. It's clearly not working in the league. It's great for Europe, not working in the league. I mean, it works in the league against better opposition. You can see we took it to Chelsea away and won 2-0. But I think against the lesser opposition, we need to be a little bit more attack-minded. Sitting back and defending against teams that are also doing the same thing. They're just better at it than we are. So I think we need to get into a habit of, we play the 4-3-3 in games we're supposed to lose, and the games we're supposed to win, we'll go with the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-2-4. I'm leaning towards the 4-2-3-1 for now because I don't really want to play Villalobos. He's injured at the moment. I just don't like him. He keeps going to nightclubs and getting drunk. I'm not interested in that. So I think we'll go with Francisco as a lone striker until Veloso's ready, which I hope would be this season. He's certainly going to be the guy, I think. But he's had 8 appearances now, only scored once, only averaging a 6.68. Doesn't really look like he's ready for the Premier League yet. So we'll keep giving him time off the bench, but I don't really want to be playing him as a second striker along Francisco for now. So playing the 4-2-3-1 allows Perez to move further forward, and it gets Perez, Alibasic and Oliveira all into the team at the same time. So this is what we're doing. We haven't done it for a long time. Let's see if it works. You'll be delighted to see Perez is in goal. So Perez in goal, a back 4 of Peresato, Elias, Fazekas, who is back and has been back for a little while now. You can see he's played 5 Premier League games. He's not quite averaging as good as he was doing previously. and he has had declines in some key areas, although it looks like some of that stuff is on its way back up now, which is good to see. Now he's getting a little bit of a run of games together, and hopefully some of those physicals will start to return soon as well. But Fazregas back in, Thomas at right back, then Ali Basic and Oliveira in midfield, Yordi on the left, Perez and Park, the other two of the three, supporting Francisco up front. Francisco is one of the Premier League's top scorers. Yordi is really impressing in Europe, averaging a 7.17 in Europe, 3 goals and 2 assists from his 2 starts that he's had in Europe. It's time for him to get things done in the Premier League. This is his first Premier League start. We spent £66 million on Yordi in the summer. Let's see if he's as good as I hope he's going to be. Lots and lots of changes from the team that played in the Conference League. We've played a very rotated side in the last couple of matches, which is one of the reasons why the likes of Perez and Yordi are getting a go in the Premier League, because they've impressed when we've played rotated sides in these last couple of Conference League games. But this is a step up. These are much better opponents than what we're facing in the Conference League. So let's see if Yordi's up to it. I am aware it's not ideal to be playing an inverted wing back and an inverted winger on the same left-hand side. We could be left a little bit exposed on the left, but it's the only way either of them can really play. I guess we have the option of Kavalik to play at left back as an actual left wing back, but he's been playing he played in Europe in midweek and was tired going into this, I think. I'm assuming that's Paskev's logic. He doesn't look tired there, but Paskev must have a reason, because as far as I'm concerned, Kavalik is our first choice left back now. Right, 0-0 at half time. We've shown absolutely nothing. There's not been a highlight. We're going to be going to the 4-2-4 out on the 60-minute mark, unless we score before then. First highlight of the game is going to Bournemouth. They score here. We really are in trouble this season. Luckily, we get the block in, and it goes back to Bournemouth. But if somebody could take the ball off them, run up the other end and do a football, that would be really rather useful. Please, somebody get a tackle in. Please, won't somebody get a tackle in? This 4-2-3-1 served us so well for so long. It just doesn't seem to get the job done anymore. We're making the change now. We're going to the 4-2-4. We've got to throw men forward. I think for now we'll stick Ali Basic up front for 5 minutes. No, we won't. We'll stick Oliveira up front for 5 minutes. Ali Basic and Perez can be the midfield. We're going to do this, so he's going to be the inverted winger in there like that. He's going to be our inverted wing back. He's going to be a ball-playing defender on cover. We're just going to give this a couple of minutes, and then Veloso's going to come on, I think. But just so I can make my mind up whether it's going to be Ali Basic or Oliveira who stays on. I think it's probably Ali Basic who's coming off, but we'll give him a minute playing in the playmaker role just to see if he can exert any influence on the game. He just doesn't seem to have the same influence that he used to have for us. But we desperately, desperately need goals. Right, Oliveira drops back then. We're going to bring Veloso on and play those two that way round. We'll leave it there for now. Just get another striker on. I'm looking at Yordi thinking Yordi could have gone up front. We could get Richardson in. Yordi's not playing well. Yordi might be a striker. I'm not sure. I am worried. I am getting a little bit worried that we're getting dragged into a relegation battle that we want no part of. Europe is off the schedule for the next 3 months now. We've got 3 months of just being able to focus on the Premier League. We need to be fully established back in the top half of this Premier League again before Europe is back, because Europe is a fun distraction. No one really cares if we win the Conference League. We need to stay in the Premier League or we lose all of these players and effectively have to start again. Oh, Veloso scores. Thank goodness. We were talking about him before, about how I think long-term he probably is the answer for us alongside Francisco, because I'm just about done with Villalobos because of his antics off the field. Veloso scored a lot of goals in the MLS when he was there on loan at the end of last season, and he's grabbed an important goal for us there as well. But it's gone straight back to Bournemouth with a free kick. If somebody could get a tackle in here, that would be lovely. Elias Gets the clearance, and there's Veloso, turns nicely. He's got Francisco ahead of him. If he can deliver it to him, he can, and now it's Francisco. We know how quick he is. Somehow someone caught up with him, but then he went past them again and grabs his 16th goal of the season. I mean, there was some weird hesitation in there from Francisco, letting the Bournemouth defender in. Imagine being the Bournemouth manager, though, watching their defender do so well and then do something so stupid, because he makes the tackle and then plays a short pass that the goalkeeper can't get to, and Francisco just nips in and scores. It was a gift, and I am very happy to gratefully receive the gift. Richardson's going to come on the left-hand side now. Yordi didn't look great today, did he? And we're going to bring Kavalik on as well. Thomas can come off for him. And we've gone from one extreme to the other. We're now playing a wing-back and a winger on that left-hand side, because why not? But this puts us back up to 12th place, and this is one of our games in hand as well. So this is what we were talking about before. This is important. We need to start moving back up this league, or else Mrs Wearmouth is going to get a grumpy on, and we don't like it when Mrs Wearmouth gets a grumpy on. Perisato trying to play the through ball, but can't get it through to Park, who does end up actually collecting it in the end, but his cross is a poor one. We've still only got the 1 goal advantage, and we could do with a third here, just to calm me down a little bit, because I've seen us concede too many goals this season, and Perez still doesn't really fill me with confidence in goal. So I either need to bring Williams back in, which I'm trying not to do, or we need to start scoring more, which is the real traditional Kev way of doing things. And Richardson, from the flick down from Francisco, has an effort that's unfortunately straight at the goalkeeper. Tottenham, who are a team that we're chasing, are 3-0 up away from home, which is not ideal. Oh, Oliveira, has he given away a penalty there? He hasn't. It's actually a good tackle from Oliveira. Now Francisco is coming down the right-hand side. Park needs to get central here. He's finally realised what's going on. If Francisco comes wide, Park has to go in field. Crosses into Veloso, and he's scored again. Maybe Sandro Veloso's time has arrived. We said he would be the one, but he just needs time. Perhaps I was wrong. Perhaps he doesn't need time. Perhaps he's the one now. Villalobos, I hope he's watching on, realising what he's lost, realising what could have been for Villalobos. He could have been part of this, and he's not, because he's a moron. It's 3-1 to home. We're on the attack again. Elias is there with the header, but it goes just over from the corner from Richardson. I guess we're going to do the 4-2-4 in the games we should win then, with Veloso for now, presumably. And then the 4-3-3 in the big away games, the games against the teams who are much better than us. And fingers crossed, if we can get that working, we'll be all right. Park is using his pace and power to fly through the Bournemouth defence there. Park's someone we're actually getting a little bit of interest in from bigger clubs. Inter Milan are sniffing around again. Who were the ones who took Abagai off us before. And it's a similar situation to what we've... Oh, that's idiotic from Kavalik. My word. I mean, we know he got sent off 3 times last year. We know he's got that in him. But that was insane, that tackle. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to prison for it. We don't really have anyone to drop back. Richardson's going to have to come back and play there. Francisco can drop out wide. And we'll do like that, I guess. We've only got to get through a couple of minutes. I can't remember what I was saying before now. I'm sure I was making a really excellent point as well. And now it's just lost to history. No one will know what Kev was going to say next before Kavalik went and forced me to play an inverted wing back for another month, because guaranteed, absolutely nailed on guarantee, he's getting an extended ban for that, because that was absolute madness. I think it was 3 times he got sent off last year for Aberdeen. Yeah, 3 times sent off for Aberdeen. Bristol Rovers, the year before, he got sent off twice. That's the 6th red card of his career now. He's a madman, an absolute madman, but he's really good. So I guess we just have to... It's almost the same as the Villalobos situation, but Villalobos is completely self-inflicted, whereas Kavalik's a madman. Villalobos could just stop going clubbing. Let's play Leicester and hopefully beat them too. So for the Leicester game, we are switching to the 4-2-4 straight from the start, and we're going to try Yordi as an inside forward this time rather than the inverted winger. Veloso obviously coming in after his 2 goals in the last game to play up alongside Francisco, which means Ali Basic misses out. Oliveira and Perez staying together in midfield, and Tuther Perez does keep his spot in goal for now. We're We'll see. I'm still very much chairman of the Alex Williams fan club, so one mistake from him. Just needs one mistake, and he's done forever. Watching him like a hawk. Right, Leicester are having a terrible, terrible season. They are down in 18th place at the moment. I mean, we're not having the best season ourselves, but Leicester are definitely a team that if we lose to them, we are absolutely in a relegation battle. Whereas a win here does have the potential to propel us up pretty close to that top half of the table again as we get very close to the halfway point of the season. Yordi here on the left-hand side. Or it's Jordi, isn't it, rather than Yordi, because he's Spanish. Jordi, I mean, I'm not going to call him Hordy. I'll just never remember. It's got to be Jordi or Yordi. Take your pick. Which mispronunciation do you want? Because I'm not going to... Weirdly, Juan Jose, I can call him by his correct name. Hordy. I can't... He needs to change his name. It's the only option. Elias then, across to Fazekas, and now Perez. That was a rare misplaced pass from Perez, who has flourished this year playing in central midfield after being signed initially as an attacking midfielder, who we then converted into a right winger, and we're now using as a central midfielder. Here is the man himself, Hordy, who is a very tricky little dribbler. It's pretty much all he's got at the moment is the tricky dribbling. The only problem is he's got the tricky dribbling, but he's quite slow and doesn't really have the end product. We've got something... We've spent £66 million on a very raw talent. Not necessarily because he was worth 66 million, but because he was at Barcelona, they didn't really want to sell him, and it was the only way to take him off of them. If he was any other club, I imagine we get him for a lot less than we've paid for him. We're 1-0 down against a team we've already said we absolutely can't lose to. Perez flapping his arms around in the air as well. I wonder if Alex Williams saves that. And we've got the chance for an immediate reply here. Perez with the free kick. And it ends up back with Perisato, who has given the ball away, but Elias is there to cover for him. Elias already looks like he's been part of this defence for years. He's I'm happier with Elias there than I ever was with Abagai. So I think Elias and Fazekas is my partnership for a long time. Veloso's in again here. He's another striker. He's very, very quick and trying to play the ball across to Hordy, but can't find him. Todd Thomas now trying to keep the attack going. We've got players lining up in the middle. It's now Park trying to get the cross. That's got to be a penalty. He has taken both legs out from under him there. The ref's going over to his little telly. If he's not giving a penalty here, I need to know who to sue, because we were in the middle of an attack where we had a man over in the middle and Park's about to hit a cross. So if this is not a penalty, I want everything to restart exactly from where it was with us in possession of the ball. Of course, it's a penalty. I'm not sure who's going to be taking the penalty. Veloso apparently taking the penalty. That seems risky. A young lad who's only just started scoring goals in the Premier League. We're showing a lot of confidence in him here, and he's demonstrating a lot of confidence in return. His 4th goal of the season, his 3rd of the episode, makes it 1-1 in an almost immediate reply. I think Leicester scored in the 24th minute. We get ours in the 28th, and we are... Oh, it's the 23rd they scored. My mistake. And now we are back in this. Let's encourage the team to try and grab another goal before half-time to start really putting the putting the final... It's not the final nail in Leicester's coffin. It's not even the halfway point of the season, but one of the early nails. One of those nails that, you know, it's probably still easily removable, but it's a nail all the same. Perisato. The more I have seen Cavalic play there this year, the more it annoys me that Perisato is playing there. He's done nothing wrong. I just want my left back there now. Park trying to charge into the area again. He's already won 1 penalty from that position. He's fallen over in the penalty area again. I mean, I'm asking for another penalty. Apparently it wasn't one this time, but Park has found a route to goal there, and it is run into the penalty area, tie that left back inside out, and then fall over. He's got a 50% success rate with it so far. Fingers crossed it works again in this second half. We're going attacking. A draw is not good enough against this Leicester team. We need 3 points here. This is our other game in hand. Leicester are down in 16th place. If we grab the 3 points here, we move up. Well, we stay in 11th, but we're only 1 point behind Tottenham, 3 points behind West Ham in 7th. So a win here is crucial. Right, Hordy hasn't played well again, and we have no Richardson on the bench today because I'm a buffoon. So Juan Jose can come on, and he can have a go coming in off that left-hand side. We're going to bring Passotti on in the midfield, which means Perez then becomes the box-to-box midfielder. We have got Fullneck available. to come on and play up front, but I'm just going to sit for a second, give Veloso 10 more minutes, because he's already scored once today, but it's still only on a 6.8, which suggests he's had a really poor game, because even with a goal, he's on below a 7. So we might be bringing him off, although actually Park looks like he's tiring, so Park might be the one who's coming off. But what I might do is still bring on full neck and put Francisco out onto the wing. That is brilliant from Park. Forget taking him off. What a wonderful piece of football from what is comfortably our best player at this point. Look at the state of this from Park. It's Juan Jose who's playing the ball across to him. So he's got himself an assist. But this is brilliant. Just brilliant from Park to make it 2-1. And now we can drop back to a positive mentality. Perez, that's a risky pass to Thomas, but he just about gets away with it. And now Park is running at the defence again. I thought he was sticking that into the top corner. I think we probably do take Park off here because he's done a lot of running today. Wally can come on and play on that side. I'm actually going to leave him out there. Perez can stay in midfield, even though Perez, I think, is a natural right winger. I think he's a better central midfielder than Wally is. So Wally can stay out there playing on that right-hand side, which is actually the position he originally broke into the team in about 2 or 3 seasons ago now. Here he is, Wally. Can he find the cross? He cuts it back to Todd Thomas instead. He's got time to pick his spot. And it's a very good effort that the goalkeeper does well to keep out. And then the defender manages to save them from conceding the corner as well. But we now have a corner. It's going to be Perez to take. We're entering the final few minutes of the game. Still 2-1 up. A third goal would be very handy around about now. Perez cutting it back to Francisco. He's got space on the edge of the area. Shoots. And it's a terrible shot. He's kind of driven it across goal. But it's pretty clear at this point. We've got ourselves a poacher in Sandro Veloso. He's done nothing all game long, but has scored 2 goals. He's just in the right place at the right time, sticking his foot out and grabbing himself a goal. That is the kind of striker I have wanted for years. We've got a finisher. We've got a poacher. We've got our partnership. It's Francisco and Veloso, boys and girls, with Park on one side and then probably Richardson on the other, because the other guys have had plenty of opportunity to earn their spots this episode and haven't really done it. So expect to see Richardson back in the next episode. But those 2 wins were so important when it comes to keeping Mrs Wearmouth off our back. We're back in the mix looking to qualify for Europe. We continue on our run of relatively straightforward games. Everton, Villa, yeah, it gets a bit hard again with Arsenal and Man United. But by the time we're back in Europe, we need to be in that top 6. And that's not an unrealistic hope, I don't think. West Ham, Wolves, definitely catchable. That's the goal. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.